Good morning, everybody. Thought I'd do a short video now and conclude the actual wrapping up of this little repair here on the corner of this body. So first thing we're going to do is take off some clamps here, but before I continue on and get started, I'd just like to add, if you're a new viewer to my YouTube channel, thank you so much and welcome. Please subscribe and press like, and I would really appreciate that. So also, I have a Patreon channel which will show much more detailed guitar work, fabrication, modifications, repairing. And so by all means, subscribe to my Patreon channel. You can also reach me through Facebook. I'm on Instagram, and I have a website. And if you have any questions, and I do a feature segment called Q&A on guitar work. And so email me questions at Karl@karlsandoval.com. Also, if you feel inclined to help out, I would really appreciate it. You can send gifts, contributions, and donations to PayPal, Karl@karlsandoval.com. That's my email address. So it's with the letter K, Karl@karlsandoval.com. I'd appreciate any help if you could incline to be so generous. Thank you so much. So let's move forward. What we're going to do is take off these clamps, which is very simple to do. It's just basically untightening them. It's sort of a screw twist off clamping system. We all know what C-clamps look like. This is an example of a C-clamp here, and they come in a variety of sizes. If you don't have a collection of them, by all means, get some small, medium, and large ones. Trust me, you'll be using them. They're like my third hand. So we've got our glue block there, and we have our glue piece. I pretty much, when I'm clamping something together, I pretty much use a variety of blocks and spacers and clamps and jigs. And here's the other jig that I was telling you about, where a piece of used plywood, really nothing fancy, and it's got some screws in it which help to stabilize what we were doing. A lot of times when you're gluing weird angles like this, you're going to have wood that's going to be sliding. So, it would really benefit you to create the jigs necessary to get this done. So the next step we're going to do is do a rough tracing here. I'm going to use pen because it's a little darker and I want to be able to see it. And like I say, this is going to be a rough cut. I'm not going to really cut perfectly. Let's extend this out a little more. Because what I end up doing is sanding to the shape that we need. And there it is. There's our repair. This just gives me a general idea to cut with a bandsaw, the basic shape of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand carry you over. Bear with me, this is going to get a little shaky, but I'm going to hand carry you over to the bandsaw. Yeah, and of course I hit everything on the way. This is live, folks. This is the real deal. There's no editing here. Honestly, I'm working with editing right now, but we'll get it together. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to elevate, make sure we've got clearance. Now, in working machinery, if you're following along, There's a lot of sharp blades here. You're doing so at your own risk. Please be very careful. Wear your mask, wear your respirator mask, your eye protection and ear protection. This is going to be such a quick bandsawing that, you know, I'm going to just go right to it. So here we go. Let's get this thing cut out. So now we've got a basic rough cut there. And so what I'm going to do now is, as you can see, it's way thicker than the body that we have. So let's trim that up a little bit. And you kind of want to trim in a bulky sense because then you can work down to the dimension you want. Here's one side. I really tried to keep I tried to make it as close as possible to the surfaces that we're going to need. So I'm sure there's going to be some filler that we'll be doing. So let's go ahead and make a walk to the bench again. So hang on. For now, this is my form of editing. We're live, folks. This is what you're going to get. Live action. We're almost done. So what I do now is I have 100 grit sandpaper. It's pretty coarse. 80 grit will work just as fine. And what I'm going to do is level off this extended wood here to make it flush with the body. So that's just really, if I use a long block like this, then it stays flat on this surface and it'll cut this smaller surface down. So let's do that real quick. Now this process is pretty good. It's very simple, it's basic, it's a lot of hand tools except for the bandsaw, and this just makes it easier for you out there as viewers to understand what I'm doing and to get at it. You know, we need to get some more of this. I think this is 80 grit. Yeah, this is 80 grit that I'm using. I know I said 100, but that would have worked too. 80, 100. So let's continue on here. We'll do some good strong elbow grease and get this level. Like I say, by keeping the majority of the block on this plane here, it will make this level. I won't be cutting below that surface. almost there. As you can probably tell, I'm focusing more on this part here. Now there's our landline. You can see it right here. See if I can get the glare off. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but there's an actual landline right here, which is our area that we had cut and surfaced. Okay, let's do this back side. Alder's pretty soft. It'll cut pretty quick. And I'm not taking much off of this area here. We're going to be putting a polyester base coat. It'll all even out. Trying to put a little more pressure on this area here. And then too, we're sort of going across grain, so that kind of cuts pretty quick. Now another thing that you can do is clamp this down. You just get any kind of block. You can use your bench. That way, by clamping the body down, you'll be able to use two hands. I'm applying downward pressure here, and this one's more or less my pusher, my piston. Okay, that pretty much will do it. Now what I'm doing here is I noticed I had a little bit of a high spot on the body right here, which is coming down. So that's pretty good right there. It's all rough. I mean, being that it's going to be a solid color, there's no reason to make this really fine. Okay, so we'll take off our clamp. Now we'll do a little more. If we're doing the edges, we're going to do a little more precise tracing on this drawing. Okay, so I'm using a pen again. Well, you can see how basic this is. This whole repair was pretty simple. You know, it's just a little bit of time that you're going to have to invest in it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of my disc sander first. So let me set this up, and I'm going to move you again. Hold on, everybody, hold on. There's our sander. How about that for editing? Okay, here we go. This is that disc sander that I featured as a guitar building tip. Very good machine to have. The abrasive here is kind of dull, but it'll be sharp enough to give me a cut, and then it won't cut so fast, so I'll be able to have more control when I'm doing a rough radius. Just to give you an idea what it looks like, okay, we're going to be trimming down to that line. So let's continue. let's move over here to our workbench. And there you have it. See if we get some good light on this. We're real close to that line. I just have to do a little bit more sanding here, and then I'll do a rough sand around the edge, and that should be it. Let's see here. Now once again, we're using a flat block here. It's being aligned by the surface here, and I'm just going to keep the block in that position as much as possible. I'm actually going back and forth, like as you see here. That's just cutting really quickly, doing it that way. Little more. Okay, and we just have a little bit of a radius thing here. I'm going to go real quickly to our back to our body. And I think we're pretty much there. I just got to do a little rounding off right here. It's a little bit of a sharp edge. So that's just the process of rocking the block down. Until I get the radius that I'm very comfortable with, and a little bit more. You can see the motions that I'm taking when I'm sanding. I'm like dropping it down and just creating a curve. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. And I can see we'll probably have to put, unless I can sand that out, I'm going to try to sand that out. But if not, I'll sand a little more, and I may have to put a little, right here at this point, I may have to put a little more filler. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see, right here in this spot. Let me see what I can do here. I might be able to sand that out. No, we're going to need a little filler there, I can tell. Just a very, very small amount, and we'll be good to go. Well, there it is. This is the repair that I wanted to get on video. Nice and solid, and I think we're good to go. We'll just continue on. So like I say, I'll put a little filler where the seams are and then just level it off, and then, but basically all the major woodworking and repairing is done. So that ends this video, quick and simple. I just wanted to touch up, do a little touch up on that aspect of shaping it down. But it was actually pretty simple to do. Now throughout custom guitars or other guitars repairing, there's some processes here that we went through to help you out in your venture. So uh, with that being said, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And until the next video, the ongoing saga of getting the Star Guitar, custom guitar, Sandoval Star Guitar built. We'll see you then. Thank you.